Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. It is a beautiful day here in Newburyport, but we're getting ready because Hurricane Lee is traveling up the East Coast here, so we're keeping a close eye on that. I'll talk about that more in a second. But for now, we've got a beautiful day here in Newburyport, and looks like we're going to get some rain this weekend. So what's going on? The first thing I wanted to talk about this week was brown water. So we have been getting a lot of calls around brown water in Newburyport for the majority of the summer. So this isn't just recently, since we did start our fall hydrant flushing program. So that's happening right now, right? So we do the hydrants twice a year. We do it in the fall, we do it in the spring. According to my water department, and again, I'm trying to get educated on this as well, but the hydrant flushing program is like one of the most important things we do for our water supply here in Newburyport, okay? So let me get back to that part in a second. We've also been getting traces of brown water throughout the city because of all the rain that we're getting this summer. Okay, so when we have rain like this, again, we have a reservoir system, right? So we have Indian Hill, which is our largest reservoir, and then we have the upper and lower reservoirs, right? So we have a 3-reservoir system that this water travels down and then goes to our water plant. That's where we get our water supply from, all right? So not uncommon, right? There's a lot of municipalities that get water this way, okay? And we supply water for West Newbury and Newbury as well as ourselves. Okay, so when we have a lot of water like this and all the runoff that goes into our reservoirs, I'm going to make sure I say this right, but the magnesium, so it's manganese mineral, we're getting high levels of that, right? And it's not uncommon. It's a natural mineral that's usually that we see in our water supply, but because of the rain, the levels are just sky high. So then it's up to our water department and our water treatment plant to measure and get that calibrated correctly so our water is good, and that can be sent out and used by our residents, okay? So that's been the balancing act all summer, and again, I think Amesbury is dealing with the same thing. The manganese levels have been so high, right? And this isn't magnesium, this is manganese. Levels have been so high, all right? So we're dealing with that. And I can tell you I had brown water at one point for a day this summer, right? We try to flush it out as best we could. I can assure you this is more just aesthetics, like the water is safe. Safe to cook with, safe to drink, but if you're like me, I won't drink brown water. I don't expect you to drink brown water either, right? So again, we have to try to flush it out as best we can. And then, so on top of that, now we're starting our hydrant flushing program. Now I was like, do we have to do this right now? Because I think that was a valid question, right? We're already dealing with still some areas of brown water that keep popping up around the city. You know, is this the best time to do the hydrant flushing? And the short answer is yes, because it's so important that we do this. It really helps flush out our lines when we have an old water system like we do. The water distribution system is old, so sedimentation can build up. So flushing the system really helps us work with that, okay? So let me just, I guess I'll end it this way, right? We also had a fire this week, which also we had to use the hydrants to put out a fire down on Mosley Ave. So I mean, that contributes to some brown water too. So I guess I'll just say, we're monitoring this every day, multiple times a day. We understand your frustration. I will say any kind of questions you have around our water, please call our water department directly. The number is 978-465-4420. Dan McGuire, we just hired back to Newburyport. He worked for Newburyport for a long time. He went to Byfield, and we just brought him back as our water superintendent. He was actually the one that put in this hydrant flushing program many, many years ago. But again, he is incredibly smart, and he'd be happy to talk to anybody about what we're seeing right now, what we're doing for it, and how do we manage it going forward, okay? So again, again, please call if you have questions. I know it's frustrating. We are working on it, and like I said, we just have a couple different things going on right now, and hopefully, once we get through this hydrant flushing part of the program, then we can start, seeing that improvement in our water supply moving forward as we go later into the fall. Okay, so I just want to talk about that real quick. I know that's affecting a lot of people. Like I said, I had water a couple weeks ago. I had brown water for a night, and that was frustrating. Okay, you might have seen me out on High Street the last couple weeks since the start of school. Again, I have been out there helping out as a crossing guard. I'm working the High Street in front of the Bresnahan and Senior Center spot, and I think it's been really successful so far. We got our yellow lights flashing up and running again. They had gone down, so hats off to DPS and our electrician, Jeff Matheson, for getting those going again. I think that helped to start this week, getting those lights back up and running. We have had a couple new crossing guards sign up since I came forward with this last week to the community, so that's good. So I'm going to try to keep doing this as long as I can. Again, I always can't be there. I won't be there tomorrow morning. I have something very early, but for the most part, I'm happy to go down there and help out because I do think it's important. So if you're interested in becoming a crossing guard or taking part in our senior veteran tax work-off program, please reach out to my office. Please reach out to the school office, central office, and we'll get you signed up and get you out there. And it's a great way to give back to the community and also earn a little bit of extra money as well. So what else is going on in the city? You might have noticed Bartlett Mall. There's some things that are happening up there. So we're still going through the process to get final approval for the larger Bartlett Mall project. But for the playground, the fully universally accessible playground, that has begun. We've pulled out the old equipment. So that's why you see that roped off right now and the equipment gone. And then we'll work on some of the work that needs to happen there, the grading work, and then we'll start installing that new equipment this fall. So that's really exciting. What else is going on? Brown School. So September 8th, we ended up getting 4 requests for information proposals from contractors out there and from development companies. So we're working through those right now. I think by the end of this week, we'll kind of talk about like which ones we liked, which ones we didn't, and then we'll put all that together in a memo and send that to the city council. So that's coming. I'll give you a little sneak preview. I didn't really love any of the proposals. But I think it did give us valuable information that could help us if we move forward to a request for proposals or that RFP process about what we can do at the Brown School, specifically around senior affordable housing and hopefully keeping that gym / art center for a community space. So stay tuned for Brown School. Market Landing Park and bulkhead projects continue to move forward. I think you've noticed like the big barge has come in for the bulkhead project, and it's right next to the embankment now. It's moved right in, which was a tricky move in our at a river, but we watched the tugboat bring that barge in. That's going to help do a lot of that work. We lost a few more spaces of parking to mobilize for some of the construction. But you know what? To be honest, we had a couple of weeks of a lot of calls around parking, but we're not getting those calls now. So I think it has died down. And like I said, these are 2 really important projects that are going to be going on at the same time. And the sooner that we can get them done, the sooner that we can open up some more parking on our waterfront and in other areas of town. So stay tuned for that. But I'm glad those projects are up and running. The Route 1 traffic circle project, that is a state project. That's not a city project, but we did set up a special page on our website to keep people updated on that. So if you have any questions about that, do it. That's going to be a 4-phase project that's going to go through the fall. There's really only one weekend in November that there's going to be disruption to traffic there. But so far, so good. That project, it's still open to traffic, and that work has begun. Boards and commissions, we have some that have become available, so I'm going to be sending out another request for people wanting to get involved. So check out, we're going to have that'll be on our website, but the list of boards and commissions that we're looking for people. So stay tuned for that. And then there's also, if you're someone who's connected to Whittier at all, we're looking for someone to volunteer to be a member of the Whittier School Committee. So that is kind of due by the end of the month. If you want to do that, you can send a letter of interest either into the school committee here in Newburyport or into my office, and I'll make sure they get it. But a letter of interest and a resume, and you can serve on the Whittier School Committee. So that's happening. And then let me just see. There's 2 things going on this weekend that I wanted to mention real quick. First is an event that's happening down at the Elks Club tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, okay, on Low Street. It is the Save Our River event. I'm not going to be able to make it there in person, unfortunately, because I have another commitment, but this is a great event. It's actually a cornhole tournament, so if you're looking for something to do before the rain comes on Saturday, head down to the Elks, Save Our River event. I'm going to send a few remarks around what we're doing right now around keeping the Merrimack River clean and advocating for its health. But that's a great event, so go down to the Elks if you want to do that, Save Our River event. And then also the Newburyport DocuFest is happening this weekend. So that's happening from Friday to Sunday, and it is happening downtown. Opening night is tomorrow night, Friday, at the Firehouse. But all the documentaries, and there'll be 30 films in all, you'll be able to screen them at the screening room and the Firehouse. And lastly, I'll just end with this. There is some weather coming up the coast, Hurricane Lee. They are kind of downgrading. the effects it's going to have up here in Newburyport, particularly on Plum Island. Plum Fest is going on this weekend on Newbury and Newburyport on Plum Island. But it looks like it's going to be a lot of wind early and then some rain, but we're not going to get that huge push that we thought we were going to get. So we just had a meeting with all my public safety personnel and then some of our state leaders and Plum Island leaders. And I think we're all on the same page. I know we're on the same page. And I do think it's going to be a much less storm or less severe storm than we thought it was going to be. But we're going to keep an eye on that. And then we'll make some calls tomorrow after getting the final weather reports. But it looks like Hurricane Lee is pushing more east, which will lessen the impact here in Newburyport. And that's my Mayor's Corner this week. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy it. If you're going out to Plum Fest and there's a little bit of rain, go out and enjoy it. It's actually really fun to bop around, to catch the different musical acts happening all over the island. Hopefully the rain holds off for them for the most part, but it's always a fun event, rain or shine. So go check out Plum Fest, and I will see you all next time on the Mayor's Corner.